Yo guys, what is up? Then we put on the back with another video, and today, one of the best cards of the year, UFC 328, is just coming up, and today I will predict all of the fights on the main card. So first off, for King Green versus Jeremy Stevens or Bobby Green. Well, Bobby Green's on a 2-fight win streak. He's defensively sound, hands down, really hard to hit. He'll keep you at range with a teep and pick you apart with a 1-2 until you overcommit a shot and now you're getting pinged with jabs and hooks. So that's for King Green. And for Jeremy Stevens, he's a low level brawler. That's the best way I can describe him, to be fair. He's a powerful pocket boxer who can knock out a low level guy, but he just really isn't UFC worthy anymore. And yeah, for this fight, I see Bobby Green TKOing Jeremy Stevens in the first round. Well, yeah, this is a huge step down from King Green, and I think he's too fast and sharp. And even in his last fight for Bobby Green, he outstrode Daniel Zellhuber, and even his fight before that, he was good. He's not, and he's not washed yet. So I think Bobby Green is going to beat the bricks out of Jeremy Stevens. And for King Green, it'll be a straightforward win, and it can be in top 15 contention again. And then now we have another welterweight banger, Sean Brady versus Hakeem Buckley. Our two guys coming off losses. Sean Brady just got knocked out by Michael Morales, and Hakeem Buckley just got wrestled to additional by decision by Usman. For Brady, he's a really talented and busy grappler. I love his wrestling. He has good submissions, good ground pound. He will take you down and look for a submission. And if not, he'll beat you up with ground and pound, and he'll go back and forth with trying to submit you and doing ground and pound on you. But I will say his striking is pretty basic. I think it's only useful when he tries to set up takedowns like he did against Leon Edwards. And now for Hakeem Buckley. While he's super strong, super athletic, he's very explosive. He's one of the most physical guys at 170 right now, and those have helped him to get into the top 10. He does have average but crisp striking, but he does have a lot of power. But he also likes to take down defense, as we saw in his last fight against Usman. However, for this fight, I think Buckley's gonna chin Brady. He's gonna knock him out in the second round. He's gonna knock him out in the second round. I just think with a height advantage, Buckley's gonna knock him out. I know on paper Brady should win because Brady's a grappler and Buckley's weakness is grappling. But ever since then, Buckley has worked on his grappling. Now we've seen him on them RAF shows, and if he stays on the feet, I think Buckley's just a big threat, and especially with Brady's chin. He got knocked up by Morales and even got knocked up by Bilal Muhammad. So I just see Buckley landing that one shot and getting a finish against Sean Brady. I know after this fight, he can fight. There's loads of big names in the welterweight division. Maybe Jack Della Maddalena he can fight after this fight if he wins. And now for first off, I want to say whoever wins this fight should be fighting for the title. Next is the number one contender, and I know Alex Pereira and Cyril Gane up fighting for the interim title. But while Aspinall's out, so whoever wins between Aspinall and Gane and Pereira, they should find the winner of this fight. They're very deserving. Walcott's the number two contender, while those I think like the number fifth contender. So yeah, and well for Volkov he's gigantic for heavyweight. I think he's like 6'9", and he's a really tricky kickboxer who will dust you if you can't handle it. If you're not a good kickboxer, he will break you down. But overall, a really good kickboxer with solid takedown defense. And now for Waldo, he's a classic hit and not get hit boxer. Has good defense and offense, and a pretty fast and crisp puncher for the heavyweight division. And which is how he's been able to knock up those people like Shamil Gaziev, Ante Elijah, loads of them. He catches people when they just come in. And for this fight, it's very tricky for both. But I just see Alexander Volkov just easing out a decision from Waldo Cortez Acosta. I mean, Volkov is the best heavyweight. Well, I think he's the best heavyweight, except from Aspinall right now. But yeah, he beat in his last few fights. He beat the bricks off Sergey Pavlovich. He arguably should have gone in their rematch. He would have been on a 6-fight win streak if Gone didn't rob him. And also, Waldo Cortez Acosta is also a bit basic. And for me, Volkov's just gonna outclass him for 3 rounds. And I think it'd be next in line for the title shot. So now for the co-main event. Now, first I want to say this is one of the best flyweight title fights for a long time. And this fight for me perfectly shows how revived the flyweight division has now been after Joshua Van has become the champion. And for speaking of Joshua Van, he's one of the best boxers in the UFC right now. He will box the bricks off of you throughout this fight. That's what he wants to do, and that's what he's best at. But he could also he could definitely get cut as well. As we saw, he got knocked out by Charles Johnson. The River catched him a few. Brandon River catched him a few times and hit in their fight as well. But his volume is just insane, and he's one of the best, if not the best boxer in the division. And for Tyra, he's one of the best ground. He has one of the best ground opponents in the game. His ground game is phenomenal. I'd say right now he's the best grappler at flyweight right now. He also has insane submission ability and nasty ground and pound, as we saw in the fight with Moreno. And he has and he's improved his striking very much now. He was even in the fight with Moreno, he was piecing him up. Now this fight's pretty 50-50, but I just think who impresses me more, and I think who will win is Tatsuro Taira. And I think he's gonna TKO Joshua Van in the second round. In the second round. No, I just think stylistically Tyra has more tools and skills in the park than Joshua Van. I know he dropped and submitted Huyun Park, he was at the time a very good prospect. And we just seen him destroy Moreno with Brandon Moreno as well. And also we haven't seen Joshua Van struggle with grapplers, like before in his fight against Ray Soroya, who took him down a few times and held him down in the cage. And it's not just that. Joshua Van has bad takedown defense. I think he's been working on his takedown defense. I think even before the Pantoja fight. But I just think Tyra is so good. He's gonna TKO in the second round. I think he's gonna take him down. Maybe try for submissions at them. I think he's gonna get that TKO finish, and Japan will have a new champion. And now for the main event. Khamzat Chimaev versus Sean Strickland for the UFC Middleweight Championship. I mean, man, this is probably one of the biggest rivalries in the middleweight division so far. I mean, did you see that press conference? I mean, that press conference was insane. They were shouting at each other and insulting each other. Strickland calling him Chechen whore and Chimaev just saying he's broken G-Wagon to Sean. Yeah, I mean, this is one of the most hyped UFC fights right now. But anyway, for Chimaev, well, he's the best wrestler in the UFC, no doubt. I mean, maybe outside of Makachev, whose wrestling is as dangerous and lethal as Khamzat Chimaev. And he can and will out-wrestle everyone he fights. It doesn't matter if you have good takedown defense or good jiu-jitsu. All of that is irrelevant when you're facing Chimaev. Chimaev will shoot a takedown immediately, like 5-10 seconds into the fight, and he's already trying to grab your legs in the fight. Sorry, and that's his plan, just shoot, until he gets a submission, or if not, he'll dominate you for 25 minutes, just like he did against Dricus du Plessis. Now, Strickland has a very weird style. He's typically a pressure striker with jab and TPU, But if you're not able to cope with it, he can beat the crap out of you. I mean, look at his fight with Anthony Henry. He was a grappler, and Sean destroyed him. Some people kind of mock Sean Strickland when he said, "Oh, they're gonna have a 5 round war, or we're gonna have a war with all that." When he's just on the fight, just jumping and tipping. But to be fair, he did outstrike Imava, who was a real number one contender. Well, I actually think he should be a fan for the middleweight championship, not Sean Strickland. He also outstruck Adesanya in his prime and pulled up one of the upsets. And he's never really struggled with grappling. I mean, see his high. When you see his fight with Anthony Hernandez, he beat the bricks. He beat the bricks out of him. But I know, just as I said before, it's really irrelevant if you're fighting Chimaev. So now, I don't know how big a favorite Chimaev is, but I think Chimaev's gonna submit Sean Strickland in the 4th round. Yeah, I just think the grappling and the development from Chimaev, I think he gets this one done, you know. And it's not that Strickland is bad, it's just that Chimaev is that good. I see him mauling or ragdolling him throughout the fight. I mean, look at his fight with DDP. Yes, it was boring, but Drugas had no chance. He got mentally and physically dominated for 25 minutes. And even Drugas took down Strickland in their fight. So imagine what Chimaev will do. I mean, I just see two ways of this going. Kamrat Chimaev just like sitting on top of Strickland and getting that crucifixion ground and pound. Or I think he's gonna submit him, maybe he like sprawl and get a submission like a DOS or something. And the only way I see Strickland winning this fight is if he dominates Khamzat Chimaev on the feet. And well, Reza has to stay on the feet, has to keep on the feet. And he has to dominate him, outpunch him like he did against Adesanya. But I just still don't think that. I just still don't see that happening. It's not even like Topuria Gaethje. Like Topuria and Gaethje, Topuria's gonna knock him out definitely. But Gaethje has a one punch power that he could surprise us, but Strickland doesn't have that. So yeah, I'm gonna pick Khamzat Chimaev to submit Strickland in round 4. I just he's Chimaev's too good, man. He's too good. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 50 subscribers so I can live stream and do UFC watchalongs. And apart from that, let me know your thoughts in the comments and I'll see you all soon. Peace.